So today I want to talk about dwelling inside of your failures. I want to talk about how that affects not only your life, but the things you do within your life and the people around you in life, or having people around you in life at all. So first, I'll go into what I mean by dwelling in your failures, because obviously we're smart enough to know that you have to dwell a little bit. You have to self-reflect. You have to be smart. What's the saying about history? If you don't study history, then history shall repeat itself in the same way. You have to study the history, your history, and you have to make improvements and tweak it out until you're able to perfect where you're trying to go, for at least the time being. Correct? So, how does that affect you? A lot of people, it's let me sit in these mistakes forever. Let me never try to grow past it, or let me move away from this venture completely and do something completely different, which for some people may work. If you try things out long enough, you're bound to find something, right? But if you know you're truly passionate about something, if you know something in your life will be positive for you, why give up because you failed a few times? Why not change up how you do things? It changes your mental state. Dwelling in failure changes how you think about things, because now you're not afraid that, oh, other people will judge me. You might still be, but you're not afraid of it as much as you're afraid of judging yourself. You're afraid that I said I was going to wake up in the morning and do this thing, and I'm no longer doing this thing because I didn't wake up in the morning at the right time. And you dwell in it. And so you keep repeating and repeating instead of thinking, okay, well, what did I do that made me not wake up on time? Did I stay up too late? Did I eat right before I went to sleep? Did I drink caffeine too late in the day? Things of that nature. And obviously there's a myriad of reasons why that specific example can happen, but a lot of times you're not willing to do that because you've now dwelled in the failure so much that you're hurting yourself on the inside instead of reflecting and trying to be better. Now that's how you affect yourself, right? When it comes to the things you do, it's probably the most important out of the three categories that dwelling on failure, affects. Because how it affects the things you do affects your confidence. If I know that, let's say I play football. Every Sunday, I have a football game. And Monday through Saturday, I was bullshitting. I didn't eat right. I didn't train correctly. I didn't rest correctly. All these things, I was indulging in bad habits, which happens. Don't get me wrong, we all indulge in bad habits, and you never stop. You just, take them away from yourself a little bit. But if you knew for the whole week you weren't prepared, then how does that preparation ever turn into success on the field on Sunday? How? Tell me how. If an actor or an actress does not barely study the script, they don't ever practice their craft, they're never trying new things within said craft because they messed up. Because they messed up a line, now they just give it up and I don't want to know anything about theater for the rest of the week. When time comes for that play to come up, you're not going to be prepared. And what's going to happen? You're going to fail again because you weren't prepared, because you weren't confident, because you dwelled in your failure. See how it all just comes back around? And because now it's happened twice, you've messed up twice. You messed up a line twice in 2 plays in 2 weeks. So do you practice until you get it right? Probably not, because that's not how humans work. When we sit in depression, we sit in it forever almost. It takes a lot to get us out. So now, guess what happens that next week? This will be the 3rd play in 3 weeks, and you're messing up a line again. And you might mess up more than one this time, because you haven't been practicing. You haven't been reading the script. You're just kind of going up there and because you're scared, because you've messed up, you have no confidence, you've now lost all your skill. You've lost your skill almost. Because your skills mean nothing if you're not confident enough to use them. And all of that kind of thing affects every part of your life, affects everything you do in life. And that's why this is the most important part, at least to me, because I've seen it in my own life. I've not been prepared as I should have because I didn't train like I should have. And I mean train as in anything. As in studying whatever test I had coming up, as in training whatever sport I was playing, as in as in eating correctly. I did not prepare in the way I should have. So when I got to the point where, okay, this thing's coming up, I wasn't confident. So what happened? I didn't prepare, so I wasn't confident. So what did I do? I failed. And that's all right. It would be all right if I did that. And after that, I said, okay, I need to get it together. I need to prepare correctly. I need to live my life in the way that someone who wants to be good this thing does. And instead of doing that, I pushed it further away. You know why I pushed it further away? Because I dwelled in that failure. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be near it. I didn't want to be near it. It was icky to me. Whatever it was that was my failure were icky to me, and I didn't want to be near them. And what did pushing it further away do? It just made it so the next time that it came time to do something, I failed again. And I failed again. And I failed again. And guess what I did? I dwelled more and more and more. And it got to the point where it was making me so depressed and self-conscious that in my mind, somehow everybody knew that I was always unprepared for everything. Do you think people care about you? Do you think people care that much that you're unprepared? No, probably not. Probably not. Most people probably don't know how unprepared you are. They don't. They just want you to come and perform on Sunday and play that football game. They don't know how unprepared you are. But in my mind, and in a lot of other people's mind, we always see it as everybody knows. Everybody can see it in my eyes, in my face, that I'm unprepared. I'm not ready for this. And that's cool. And that's cool if you use that as motivation to be prepared. 99% of people can't do that. Humans aren't wired that way. That's something we have to fight to have happen. So, where do we go from there? Right? And that kind of, a little bit segues me into the last section I want to speak about, which is how does dwelling in your failure affect the people around you? Which is pretty important, but it can kind of depend, right? And the reason I say it can kind of depend is a lot of people don't feel the need to have people compliment them. A lot of people don't. No, only those, like 35% of the population on average, I think, at least I think, are people who can be successful, live their life without getting the compliments and praise and be okay with it. 65%, as a majority of the world, needs you to pat them on the back. It needs to happen. I'm not saying that I'm not that way. I'm that way about some things, and I'm not that way about other things. Right? It depends. But the way that dwelling in your failures will affect how you treat, not only how you treat other people, but how other people treat you, is kind of goes back to that little bit of confidence part, a little bit, but only a tiny bit of relation there. It's mostly about what people see. Because, once again, humans are people who want praise. And people don't want to give praise unless something is extraordinary. So we all are striving to be extraordinary constantly. But how are you going to be extraordinary? You sat in your failures, which pushed you away from being extraordinary, which pushed people away from you because they knew you weren't working hard at something. Everybody loves somebody who works hard at something. It doesn't matter what it is. It really don't. Something. Be passionate about something. Put your all into something. And people will see that and gravitate towards it. I don't say this to be cocky at all. People like me, on average. People like me. I've rarely met people who talk to me and didn't enjoy being around me. And I'm not saying everybody wants to be my best friend. I don't have a whole lot of people who I'm extremely close to in life. I don't, come home and everybody's like, "Oh, Dave, come outside. We hanging. Come on, man. It won't be fun without you." I don't have a whole lot of that, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. As long as when people are around me, they enjoy being around me and they're having fun. Right? That's what matters most to me. I want people to always feel included and having fun within my life. Now, it was not like that my whole life. Growing up, it wasn't like that. I was a smart kid. I was a know-it-all, and a lot of that pushed people away. I've talked about that in some previous videos, about how off-putting I've been in my life, things like that. And what's helped people, what I've noticed as people have liked me more since I've got my career field, and I've been working hard in that. And also, since I started being consistent within the gym. And I don't say that as in a lot of people are treating me different because I'm maybe more physically attractive and things like that, which I'm sure plays a role. I really am 100% sure it does. But when people see that you can dedicate yourself to something and work hard, people enjoy it. And you don't know why? Because I enjoy people like that. The people I love talking to most in life are people who are dedicated to something. It doesn't matter what it is. It's something. But a lot of people are wishy-washy with themselves, with their passions, with the things they want to do. I can't stand it. And I've honestly been that way with this channel, to be honest. And I've honestly kind of been dwelling in my failures. It went from I was enjoying uploading. I'd come on here, I make my videos, I get my couple of views, I get a comment, a like or two, and I was happy. Because I was doing something that I like to do, which is help people, which is talk about my life experiences and my opinions on things in life, and maybe that can help some kid out there, some adult, some elderly person that just needs to hear something said from a different kind of perspective, right? And that's what I like doing in life. I love talking to people. I love meeting new people. I love making experience or hearing about people's experiences and using it to better my own life. I love it. So why did I stop uploading so consistently? Semi consistently as I already was. I stopped doing it because when I said I wanted to upload twice a week, I didn't do that. It was weekends where I had things going on and I couldn't get to the camera. So you know what I did? I sat in my failure. I sat in the pool of my failure and I almost drowned in it. I almost sat in the pool of my failure and drowned in it because I didn't want to come back to the channel, and maybe the few people who do watch are like, this guy's weird. He don't even upload consistently. He don't even got that many subscribers. He don't got enough subscribers to not upload consistently, right? But I've realized that nobody cares. I enjoy doing it. So if I have something going on, if I can't get to the camera, then I'm not going to upload. But if I have something to speak about, and I'm going to be better, like I said, this is, if you watch my other videos, this is a kind of a stark difference. It's a lot less ranty, and it's a lot less, it's a lot more like bullet point talking. I'm trying to stick on specific topics. But y'all are people. Y'all are people. And in my mind, y'all are people who are judging me for not uploading, so I didn't want to come back. But I realized it don't matter. I can't dwell in that. You can't dwell in your failures from yesterday. Because guess what? It only matters that you perform today. You have to perform today. And that's the most important thing. That's the problem. Is that whether it's you, the things you do, or the people around you in your life that you meet and things like that, dwelling in your failure affects your performance, which is, I'll say that's the overarching thing. It affects your performance in every single one of those categories. And the moment that you stop thinking that your failures from yesterday matter, and you start preparing yourself, and you start being better because you're prepared, your life will be better for it. I promise. That's all I have to speak about today. subscribe, like. Hope you enjoyed the videos or the video. Go watch some of the other videos. I be speaking some real stuff in those too sometimes. Sometimes I do. Sometimes. Have a good rest of your day. God bless.